Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be diving into game number 4 of Nanolite. And Nanolite having a really dominant performance in this event. You definitely want to take a look at what he is doing specifically. But the reason why I wanted to dive into Nanolite is because he is the king of 50 ping. You know, he plays on it all the time. He's been consistent with it. He's been one of those players that you kind of have to look at and analyze their style. And if you can make it to these final situations, you know, then you know, you don't have to worry about the pushes, you don't have to worry about the W King, and ultimately I want to dive into Nanolite. So let's go ahead and see what his game was looking like in game number 4, all the way up to, you know, toward the end game, just really avoiding players. And we're not going to go ahead and look at that. We're going to be trying to dive into the end game. Let's go ahead and see. Let's move this a little bit forward. Nanolite hanging out here. Looks like he's on the edge of the zone. If I can find him. I believe this is him. This is where we should be at. Right here on the edge of the zone. So he's got this rotation that he has to make. And he's not far. Actually, on, you know, very less congested side of the zone, surprisingly. Looks like a lot of players rotated down into the south. Coming from all different kinds of angles. So what seemingly seems like it would be a rather congested area, not so much. We'll see how Nanolite decides to take this rotation. Fortunately, we'd have to watch some of the replay lag, and he's just kind of working his way through some of these old builds. 64 below at this current stage. So while he's rotating, looking for some tags, gets himself in. Takes a little bit of damage, but the biggest thing is Nanolite is below the threshold currently. So look out here on the edge. See if we can take a look at what Nanolite's looking to do. A couple players starting to fall, so you know, only 6 players between him and the end of that Storm Surge potential. But he is hanging out here on the edge, just trying to see if he can find some damage. I can't tell if this is lag. It might just be some lag. 90% positive that it's lag. It looks like he found some tags. His players coming in. And Nanolite's not in a bad position, especially considering he gets that half and half pull. His materials aren't great. I wonder if he goes for any of this loot. He does have those med kits, and he doesn't really need them here in the end game. But he could also just, oh my goodness, finds a quick beam on the Colosso. That's unfortunate. Unfortunate to our man Cole there, but he's gonna go ahead and take that quick kill. And I think he wants this loot. I think he wants the mats, but it looks like most of it have been kind of pulled. So most likely not gonna be able to go for that. But has the half and half pull. And we'll see when he decides to rotate for it. Taking his time here a little bit out on the edge. And just to analyze the loadout, you know, pretty standard these days. Medkits could be replaced for mobility, a sniper, but like double shields, shotgun, AR, really kind of your standard competitive loadout, at least for Season 3 right now. And not having crash pads, man, that's unfortunate. But he's kind of waiting for players to start moving themselves in, and now he's going to just rotate with a lot of that movement. Using this wood, keeping himself safe. We'll see where he decides to put himself. Probably just like right above this box right here. So he puts himself like diagonal from another player, which is a little dangerous in the current crash pad meta. But as long as that player doesn't decide to just barrel through his build, he should be fine. 41 players left alive, and again, I'm watching what somebody on 50 ping can do. You know, that's really kind of like the sell of this one. Nanolite makes his way to the end game in game number 4. He had a really good performance in this tournament, and you know, there's probably a lot to be said about Nanolite's performances in opens and semis. But hey, man, if you can make it all the way to this stage, and of course, Nanolite's an amazing player. He had an amazing performance at DreamHack. And getting another storm pull, more or less. I mean, these are definitely the games where you want to perform. Nanolite even going up another box, just looking for potential height. But his materials are pretty not great. So in this section of the game, when you're alive and you know you see that storm pull, you know that it's time that you have to like make a play, right? So he's got to be thinking to himself that it's time for an impact frag. He doesn't have crash pads. He can't really make this one last too long. He's looking for that pyramid just to see if anybody's going to come out of it. A little bit above Storm Surge threshold, so that's good. But Nanolite's really got to move. He's looking for that launch pad. It's going to take a little bit of damage here, but that's really Like, that's best case scenario for him, considering he really needed that launch pad just to be able to continue. There's like 2 launch pads stacked on top of each other. Lots of... So, he lands somewhere, seemingly. Finds a little bit of damage. And Nanolite, again, looking for the impact, because he's only got 28 builds. Pop out a medkit, which I'm not sure is actually, like, in my opinion, the best decision. I mean, he gets some health off of it, but falls a little bit behind the storm. Luckily for him, he has this recycled crash pad. And again, you know, real low on materials here. Look, he's not even full boxing. He's in, like, ultimate mat conservation mode with 20 builds left, going from 28 to 20 builds. Sees this player right here. And again, he knows and we know that he needs a big impact frag. So he's really looking for it. This player's already gone. And I'm like getting a little hung up on the edge of the storm just with this little floor. We're dropping down. Hopefully we don't miss any. Okay, so potential crash pad, I'm assuming. This replay mode is pretty unfortunate. But yeah, he's just kind of keeping the medkit usage and really hasn't been able to find a kill yet. Now, a lot of these are very situational, these kind of endgame kills, but... See him move forward, get himself like a lot of recycled mobility in this game. He sees that loot, he's gonna go for it. He absolutely needs it. He's getting held out a little bit, but he finds some floppers, and that's big. I gave him a little bit more builds, and actually I think he just ran over a bunch of metal as well just now. Zone pulled back to him, which is insane. Nanolite's had some really good zones, and I mean at least pulled back a bit. Yeah, Nanolite's had some really good zones. Now he's able to kind of actually pause and get these mats. This is gonna be 57 builds. So making that conscious effort to go back into the storm and find those materials, I mean, he had to actively run into the storm. He had the medkit, and that was really all he was relying on, but seeing those floppers kind of changes the perspective. And Nanolite's still on 1 kill. Finds a kill on the Gabe. And that's the refresh. You know, being aware and just staying alive in the end game is important enough to find a refresh in mats, even though he didn't get the kill himself. He's got 1 more flopper. What feels like another zone pull, not really forcing a ton of action, and Nanolite's just kind of hunting now. He has mats, so he doesn't have to be too aggressive. Even just tarping in, you know, his way toward the end of the zone. This is that final zone, 10 players left alive. He's got the 1 flopper. And look at that, even preemptively shooting ahead. Trying to find that shot on this player. Just to kind of like clear his path. 200 mats, so 2 builds. Chilling on his own layer here. Enemy player kind of across from him. And all this other congestion's gonna go off, and Nanolite's just playing like ultimate placement. He's had his moments of looking for kills like this, finds another one. But really just playing it for the life, right? Even before when he needed the refresh, just really playing to stay alive. Shot coming down. He's got the flopper. He's gonna find another one. Nice. Finds a kill on the Kura. Shockwave launcher still in play. This is his last flopper, so he's got to get down. He gets that shotgun. He doesn't get the RPG. Now he's trying to get in. People are all outside the zone because of the shockwave launcher. Nanolite just looking to return fire, but he gets beamed out. But it's going to be a second place. So second place for Nanolite. He's going to fall to Kiox. And that's nice, man. That was a good performance, seriously. Let's go ahead and go over some of the key-worthy points. Nanolite was consistently playing his life. I mean, this is a finals. This is an end game, and you know, finals. You're not going to see a lot of like W keying or hard pushing, but even all the way up to the point of having like 12 builds. You know, taking his time, using the medkits to buy a little bit of time. He would literally sit in the storm and take like 20 damage just to get 20 health off on a medkit, just to buy himself a little bit more time. Recycling mobility was insane, and then using, you know, his knowledge of the game to go back into the storm to get that refresh that he needed. That wasn't even his refresh, he just saw it. Is really what made the game, on top of having some pretty decent zones this one. So Nanolite really was popping off on the in this event specifically, like I said. And it's really impressive to see, because, you know, it gives hope to the people that are on the high ping. You know, I don't know what the statistics are behind players that are on, you know, like Texas ping or medium ping, 50, 60 ping are in terms of success in the Fortnite community, but it's definitely players that are in the minority. So whenever you see someone as talented as Nanolite, it's definitely someone to look up to. So all you know, medium high ping players, definitely make sure that you're paying attention and you're following Nanolite on all his social media, because you know, you can always watch his perspective when he streams, or just try to see if there's something that you can learn, especially looking into his performances in like opens and semis. So thanks for checking out this video. I wanted to kind of keep this one brief. I wanted to pay attention to like his best game and just see how does a medium or a high ping player play in the end game. So thanks again for checking out this video. I'll definitely keep the VOD reviews coming, and FNCS Solos is over. We got another DreamHack coming up, and then we get to dive into Trios next season. So I appreciate you checking out this video, and I'll see you on the next video.